Hey guys, Silven here. Today I'm just going to be bringing you guys up to date on my build for triple meditation, for Guardian, and yeah, just all the different things you could be running if you feel like it. So first I'm going to just start off with what equipment and stuff I'm running at the moment. So right now I'm running just full Divinity, which I've always been running. I've actually decided Divinity over Ogre for sure now, so don't run Ogre as a Guardian with this build specifically, just run Divinity, because Divinity is just so much better. Then at the moment I'm using Sword Focus with the crit chance and the lightning strike, so air and accuracy, and I'm wielding the two-hander with the Bloodlust stack, because Bloodlust is amazing. It gives you 250 power at the max stack. So the Greatsword, I think I said Greatsword before, might have said something else, I don't know. Greatsword is amazing for two reasons. Can pull your enemies interrupting them, which is really important, and obviously the retaliation is good. And the 5k damage from whirling AoE as well. So basically if you're on a cap point and everyone decides to ball up for a stupid reason, then you just kill them all. It's awesome. So I'm running the Knight's Amulet with the Berserker Jewel. You can also run Soldiers if you really feel like it. If you're taking too much damage, just run Soldiers. It's pretty good. It gives you a lot of HP, some more armor. It's good. And I think that's all for the... yeah, you can run a hammer as well. This hammer's on the wrong mods, but you can run a hammer. And the hammer is good in some team fights if you don't have enough crowd control, but generally you do, so there's not really much point in using them. But you can use them. And they do some like 3k hits and stuff with hammer skill 2, Mighty Blow. And then you can also go Scepter and Shield, which is amazing. You can actually win fights without taking any damage whatsoever. That's really fun. Against other Guardians, Warriors, sometimes Thieves, not always, because they obviously have a short bow lots of the time. And yeah, so you can actually kill people without taking any damage. It's pretty cool. And obviously you get Shield of Absorption with the one-handed weapons. Okay, so my traits are pretty much the same. Here's a cool thing. If you go Greatsword as your main weapon, you don't do as much single target damage, but you can respec your traits. You don't go as much precision, you just take it off precision and you put it somewhere else. You can go Survivability with a Greatsword, which sounds weird, but Selfless Daring is insane. It's crazy good. You generally want to have your renewed focus, so you could just take these points and chuck them here, and your survivability just skyrockets. And what you do is when you have, because it gives you like 2k HP healing, you can increase your healing a bit more. It gives you 2k HP healing as well. And what you do is you put energy mods on your main and secondary weapons. And basically every time you swap you get an extra dodge, and you basically find yourself dodging like tons and tons and tons. Because you get the vigor, I actually pointed to the screen here, you can see it, because you get the vigor from your crits, you actually just have this massive pool of energy that you can pretty much dodge roll once maybe every 2 or 3 seconds. It's crazy good, and it heals you 2k each time. And yeah, it's really, really good for survivability. Doesn't do as much single target damage, but it's still good. So at the moment I've spec'd to the triple meditation, I've spec'd the signets, 5% sword damage and 15% crit, and I've got the 10% extra damage against burning foes. Now on this build you can change a number of things. Firstly, obviously I said the 15 points you can put elsewhere. You can even put it here if you really want to. But you know, like for extra retaliation, it's pretty cool. But it's really good with the dodge roll, and you can chuck it here if you really want to. I haven't actually checked what 25. I wouldn't put it there. Don't do that. I guess you could take... just don't do it. Something about... Yeah, so it's really viable for a lot of different things. Personally, I'm running the Greatsword at the moment. If you're 1v1ing, don't use the Greatsword unless you feel like it. I mean, you can, but like use Sword Focus, Scepter, Shield. That is your best 1v1 set, especially at range damage and especially versus Mesmers. Okay, if you're versing Mesmers, always use the scepter. Like, if you have a chance to change weapons. If you don't, then that's too bad. You can still beat them with greatsword, but yeah. Yep, and these are my skills. Renewed Focus is amazing now because Tome of Courage has been nerfed so badly that it doesn't have stability anymore. So you can't actually get off your heels anymore because no one lets you. They just crowd control you. Here, I generally, you can take, for Contemplation of Purity, you can either go that, or Stand Your Ground. Can't believe I couldn't remember that. Which are both amazing skills. And yeah, so like just those two are really good interchangeably. Judge's Intervention is really strong. You don't really want to get rid of that, but you can, especially if you're running a hammer, run Judge's Intervention 100%. But you can, because the Greatsword has a jump and you have a teleport on your sword. You just won't hit all your attacks, but you can switch it out if you really want to. I wouldn't though, but other people can. And obviously you can switch this for hit a shelter, which gives you blocking, but it doesn't give you much healing, so I don't really see a point. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is for build-wise. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I was running Doliax a few times just for lols, just to see how it went. And I have been running some defensive builds as well, but basically what everyone who's watching me right now, all they want to see is aggressive builds, so I'm not really going to post any defensive builds, although I do have some really good ones. And I do have a staff build as well, which is pretty funny. They seem shit, but they're actually pretty good when you buff the symbols. So anyway, I might go into PvP and might just explain some basics, well not basics, more advanced tactics, more 1v1 against specific builds. So I'll just join any faux fire games, because I really don't want to play Capricorn. Okay, so I'll just go through the classes and how to beat them 1v1. When you're versing a warrior, their aim is to get rid of your dodge and your Shield of Wrath, because those two skills will just dominate any warrior. So they want to get rid of those two skills before they can crit you. And I'm trying to control without a mouse, so I'm trying to talk. So those two skills you want to have to the point where you can use them when they try and spike you. Now, I'm not going to bother defending my base because in these matches everyone goes back to defend. And there obviously isn't that many of them there. So the other thing I've been thinking of is when you use your skill number 5, you want to save it. You don't want to use it straight away. You don't want to burn it up straight away. You want to use it when it will be most beneficial to you. So here I'm going to burn my defensive skill because there's too many people. And I'll probably die here. Well, I could probably survive. If you have auto target off, you can actually jump away from enemies like that. So you just gotta get your auto target off. Nah, there's no chance of me surviving. I mean, like, yeah, see, I'm losing track because I'm trying to play. When you get knocked down, to interrupt someone just before they hit you, when they hit the ground, a split second after they jump, you press 2, and it will get them just before they land and knock them back. That wasn't a perfect example there. Sometimes I screw it up, whatever. But that's what happens. So I'll just go through the 1v1s. So against a warrior, you're basically saving until they try and burst you. Against hammer warriors, Aegis is your best friend because you use Aegis to block the big jump F1 skill. Can't remember what it's called. Probably Earthshake or something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much how you beat a warrior. There's not really much else to it except for using your dodges when they try and burst you, because their main damage is from burst. They don't have much DPS. The rifle, if you're running Scepter, you'll want to just keep them snared. And yeah. Where's the right?
You captured the quarry.
Yes, do. So if you know the Thieves Down skills, you can actually use Judge's Intervention to teleport to them as they've teleported. So
The waterfall is yours.
that didn't work for some reason. That's okay. You can also cancel skills with Escape if you've made a mistake. But yeah, so when Thieves are downed, when they teleport, if they teleport too early, you can teleport to them with Judge's Intervention because it's instant. Even if you haven't spec'd into instant cast meditations, you'll still teleport. And because I'm being distracted, I'm kind of double capping, and I don't want to do that. Not that there's much choice in this point because they're all gone to one point, so I'll just defend the middle.
You've taken the graveyard.
Score in this game can mean the opposite. So if you have a high score, it generally means you've been either stealing kills or just double capping and stuff like that. So it can mean the opposite, but it can also mean you're good, but generally it doesn't mean you're good. So he's trying to run away now, and he had stability up. That's okay. So Stand Your Ground is the ultimate finisher move, it's the ultimate res move, etc. And just make sure you have your Bloodlust weapon up when someone's going to finish them. So even if it's not you finishing them, just make sure you have the weapon up. You generally want to try and finish your Shield of Wrath on an enemy. But there's too many there, so there's no point to saying. Yeah, I have a Perma Retaliation build. It's a defensive build. It's pretty good. I don't really know why I'm doing this match. People like to see gameplay, and I'm just showing you some random shitty gameplay. At the moment, I'm going to Quarry to try and help out. I'm sorry for making no videos in like 2 weeks. I had 13 days of work in a row, and yeah, it was pretty shitty. Like, work wasn't shitty, it's just I couldn't really do much else.
You lost the graveyard.
And I'm about to go to volleyball, so yeah. Yeah, if you apparently, I'm all pixelated. Apparently, if you have 2 weapons with Bloodlust in the same set, you get 10 stacks of Bloodlust per kill. So you can do that.
Your base is under
if you have those 2 weapons. For example, I'm using the Greatsword now, so it wouldn't be any irrelevant to me at all, unless I was to switch to Scepter Shield.
You've taken the graveyard.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated to see if we're going to win this, because I can't really see it yet. I'll have to turtle in the Lord Pit. So there's only one guy left, if you can see him. He's on the wall as well. Oh, I have a headache. Yeah, so I'll just name some more 1v1 battles that you could be doing. So against a thief, a burst thief, or any burst class, you want to save your dodges and Shield of Wrath for their burst. Basically, when they burn their burst, you just want to hit them straight away. Other than that, there's not much else you want to do, basically. Against burst classes, they're pretty gimmicky. Like, some people say this is a burst class, but you can get pretty high DPS with this. It's high survivability.
Take that.
We're going to lose because no one wants to cap. I mean, we can rush for their Lord right now, but I'm too far away. So yeah, you get like 5k damage and they have to get forced off the point.
You lost the graveyard.
Yeah, the pull, you want to use the pull before you need it. Because you just want to do the pull when you need it. You want to use the what is it? Binding Blade. So you want to use Binding Blade before you need it, and then you want to pull them when you do need it. Otherwise, you're like trying to pull them and you don't actually have it up, so you can't actually pull them at all.
What's wrong?
See how he used his burst skill then. It wasn't a complete burst, but it was a burst skill. Yeah, it's just too many people. At the moment I have a bit of lag, so I'm just going with the safe option of, excuse me, the safe option where you use it a split second early, and then even though it doesn't look as good as like when they hit the ground and then you knock them back and you don't get knocked down, it's better to just be safe than, oh well, I guess I lose because I have a bit of lag. I guess that was the main thing in Guild Wars 1 too. When you could interrupt like a 3/4 second spell, but you interrupted much earlier, even though they have a chance of cancelling it now, it's better to just get the rupt than miss it by miles because you're lagging a bit. So we're just basically going to keep going here to try and prevent them. See, you can't even see the projectiles now.
The graveyard.
And we lose.
I was getting tired of lying around.
Never mind. Against Mesmers, don't kill Illusionists, don't kill Phantasm, don't kill Clones. Okay, don't do any of that. The only time that's acceptable to kill them is if they're in AoE. If you kill them, you're basically saying, do more damage to me, because you're not doing damage to the Mesmer anymore. You're not forcing dodge rolls, you're not forcing heals, you're not forcing utility skills. And I realised my stream just crashed.